This critical EDH video is brought to you by Doot Loot, your one-stop shop for Japanese and Russian foils. If you spend $100 or more, you'll earn free entry into the largest online CEDH league this month. So don't miss out and upgrade your deck's bling today.
Hey everyone, I wanted to do a quick overview of me and Emily's T&K list today. We're pretty much on the exact same list. I think we have two cards different and they're just lands. So we'll get to that when we get to these lists. On the left is my T&K and on the right is Emily's. And I just wanted to talk about some of the physical printing differences and just kind of show off the decks. I think they're pretty cool, but they are pretty different. So I guess just let's hop into it. A couple things stylistically. I'm a big fan of foreign language cards. If you ever played with me, you'll probably know that. I also kind of just walk around with a foreign language binder full of things for trade and sale. And if you look at like our league pricing and stuff, I do a lot of foreign language stuff there. So I have foil etched commanders, and you can see they've both seen quite a bit of play, but it's really the sleeves. And then Emily's got a foil etched Tymna, but not a foil etched Crom. I think we're still on the lookout for one of those. I guess before we get really into all that, I always get questions about what kind of sleeves and stuff I run. On this deck, because I play it so much, it's changed pretty regularly. For me, I run KMC Perfect Hard Inners and Dragon Shield Outers for the most part. So these are Dragon Shield Clear. And that's just for the commanders. But for the rest of the deck, they're KMC Hard Inners, Perfect Hard Inners. And right now we're on Ultra Pro Apex. And these are the Great Wave. They're okay. I do like that there's not really a whole lot of extra space at the top. And if you look, you can, hopefully this camera focuses, you can see that it fits the sleeve pretty dang well. For all of my expensive / real decks, I'm using Perfect Hards. It does make the deck quite a bit taller, but right now I'm using basic lands in the back of the deck box to space out. So what I do is put the whole deck in here and then very gently slide these behind to keep it compressed. And it works out pretty well. Emily has smaller hands than I do, so she's running Dragon Shields with I think these are Dragon Shield side loader clears. Just makes it a little bit easier to sleeve, and then that keeps the thickness down. These are the I think they're like Halloween 2023 edition sleeves. Pretty cool. All right, so we got the commanders out of the way. I'll set these aside. Nothing really too much to say there. And then the whole deck is alphabetical. So we'll just go through this and I'll note some things as I go, but feel free to ask questions about the cards and things like that. There's a few proxies in this deck, and there's only one proxy in this deck, and we'll get to it when I get to it. So first we have Ad Nauseam. I'm a really, really big fan of Masters foils, especially just regular border, so that's why I'm running this one. Ancient Tomb. We actually have the same printing of Ancient Tomb. It was really cool. This is the From the Vault printing, and we just love the foiling on these. Offer You Can't Refuse. Again, I like promos and I like foreign language stuff. I'm not I like some Secret Lair stuff, but like this is like a little too much for me. I like the way this one looks. Arcane Signet. We love dogs and cats, and you'll see another card that has I think a cat on it. But this one's pretty sick. Arid Mesa. I don't mind borderless cards, but I don't like extended art, so I'm not running any extended arts in this deck. There's a few borderless, and these new special guest ones are great. Badlands. Both of these are real. I think hers is like a little bit of a playground. Got some playground wear on it. You can see like even some, it's almost like a splash kind of right in the middle. But overall, we're in pretty good shape. Besiege the Mirror. I have a foil. She doesn't, not much to say. Really like the foiling on this card. It looks nice. Bergie. I really don't like this treatment, but Emily does. And hers is not foil. This one is foil. The horn especially looks really nice on the back in the foiling. If I can get it out. There's the horn. Bloodstained Mire. I'm also a big fan of promos, and so you can see the promo year stamp on these. These are from Modern Horizons 3. Born Upon a Wind. Emily constantly jokes, she's like, I can't read Japanese. I'm like, well, I can't either, but I just know what the cards do. I do play quite a bit more than she does, so I don't give her too much of a hard time about that. But I think there's like one foreign language card in her deck. This Brain Freeze is cool. I'm a pretty big fan of it, but just this old, I think it's from Scourge, in Japanese, is just really cool. Cabal Ritual. So I recently got mine signed. I sent this along to MagicCon Atlanta with some friends, and this is a From the Vault Cabal Ritual. It's very cool. Cavern of Souls. Again, this one got signed at MagicCon Atlanta. It's pretty great. Chain of Vapor. I think I will probably upgrade this one to a this version, but in foil eventually. This is kind of the most plain card in my deck right now, and I don't hate it, but it could be better. Chrome Mox. So I recently posted on Twitter which Chrome Mox should I run, and I have a Japanese Double Masters foil that I do like, but it's just like so green, and it doesn't match TK at all because obviously that's not a green deck. This one I think I won in Japanese eventually, but I won this at a recent tournament, so that's the one I'm running for now. City of Brass, obviously a fantastic card. She's got a signed Mark Tedden, and I have a foil Mystery Booster 2 Future Sight. This one I actually opened, and that's really cool. So I have a few of these cards. I think I have like 6 Future Sight foils in this deck right now. City of Traders. Emily's is a proxy. Mine's real. This one's pretty near mint. And there's really, aside from getting a foil one, which I don't think I can afford it right now, there's probably not much I'm going to do here. This is a nice card, so I'll just leave it. Command Tower. So she's got a really, really nice Galaxy foil. And this is very, very expensive. I think it's nearly $100. We opened a few of these Galaxy foil Secret Layers. I like it, but I think this like yellow kind of transparent text box, so it's not really a big fan of. But this Surge foil from Warhammer is my choice. I really, really like this card. This has won me many games, and it's been in many, many decks, so it's kind of where I'm at right now. Calling the Week. This is the Japanese book promo, and I just think the foiling is incredible. It just looks so cool. And then she's writing the Secret Lair, which is cool too, but not really my style. And then I got this one signed at MagicCon Atlanta as well. Cyclonic Rift. Nothing special for either of these other than mine's a JP kind of like original foil. Yeah, like it. Recently picked up this Dark Writ. I used to run this one here because it's a From the Vault, and you can see that kind of stripy foiling. I really, really like this printing. I'm not so sure about this one right now. I know there's so many good Dark Writs out there right now, but this is what's in the deck. We'll see if it stays. Deflecting Swat. I wish mine were foil and Japanese, but it's not. This is one I opened from Commander Masters, and hers is from a Secret Lair. It's Jesper Ising, I think. And hers is foil. We've only been buying foil Secret Lairs. But the foiling is like really, really light. It's kind of hard to tell. And then also, if you notice, it's like slightly miscut. It's very, very shallow on this side. It's kind of interesting. Demonic Consultation. I am running this version because I think it's currently the best printing. I know there's one in the encyclopedia that just came out. I don't really like that one that much. She really, really likes this with the rabbit. I think I might try to get one of these in foil, but they're just like really expensive, and the rabbit really doesn't really do anything for the deck, like theme wise. So I don't know. We'll see. This one's okay, and it is like Japanese style art, so maybe it fits better. Demonic Tutor. I have a Italian signed Demonic Tutor, and it's just so cool. I wish it were shadow signature, but it's just in fine line silver, and it looks really nice. And then she's got a Demonic Tutor, also signed, but in shadow signature, but in English. Diabolic Intent. So I've got a foil. She has a non-foil. The purple signature is really cool. But this one, if you notice, the center is altered by the artist, Dan Scott, and that is the Critical EDH logo, or his interpretation of it. And I think it just came out great. Also, it's a promo. I'm really, really big on promo cards, especially playable ones. So this just kind of hits all the notes for me. I really, really like standard border foil with promo or year stamp, and then obviously signed in foreign language. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Really cool card. It's been playing well in the deck, and I was able to pick up one of these from our friend Jay. This Secret Lair printing is just so cool, especially the raised foil, and I love this like mana symbol in the top right. It looks so nice. Hopefully I can get this signed at some point. I don't know if the artist is doing anything, but the retro foil on this side, it looks really nice. This is what I was running before, but in Japanese, and I'm fine with that too. Enlightened Tutor. I really do like the RKF printings of this card, and you'll notice a lot more RKF cards in Emily's deck. She's a big fan of his art and his signature and stuff, so she's got a foil signed RKF Enlightened Tutor from DMR, and I have a Judge foil, and I think the Judge foil is nice. It's probably my favorite printing overall, but I do wish it were in like foreign language, and that kind of bothers me. So not sure what to do there, but it'll stay for now. Esper Sentinel, both are non-foil. Mine's sketched and signed. Not a whole lot to say. Exotic Orchard. There's so many dang printings of this card. Right now I have a Ripple foil that's signed, and I'm pretty happy with that. Fairy Mastermind. We have we both have foils. Mine is the date stamped and Japanese. Fellwar Stone. I have a From the Dark foreign language Fellwar Stone. I am terrible with assessing what language that is, but I really like it. And then she's got a foil from Command Masters. Fierce Guardianship. I have a foil with a blue signature. I mean, this just came out perfect when I got these signed. And she has a non-foil with an orange signature. Final Fortune. Here's another one of my Mystery Booster 2 foils. This one actually has a pretty good story. Jason got me this for my birthday because he won a local league or event, and this was the prize. So he just gave this to me. So this is never changing. I'm legally obligated to run this version. But yeah, it's cool. It fits with the rest of the deck. This is one of my favorite printings of the card, Flare of Duplication. The regular art is very cool, and I'm totally fine with that. But man, like, come on, this version in foil and Japanese, it's incredible. Flooded Strand, not much to say. I have a foil Japanese. Flusterstorm. Now, I might want a Mystery Booster 2 foil like this one, but like I said, I'm really, really particular to master set foils and just the way they look with the layering and stuff. So this one's from Iconic Masters, and I think it just looks incredible. I know that I can get one like this, but for me, this one just kind of again, like hits all the marks, aside from the fact that it's not foreign language. So maybe I'll look for a foreign language one of these. Force of Negation. We actually have a few of this borderless one, none in foil. I think eventually I might want one of these, but for some reason, the way that this one looks with just the regular border and the foil is so cool. Also, this one's French, and I picked it up for a pretty good deal. I think it was like $40, and it looks like a Force of Negation, and it is, but then like upon closer inspection, people are like, oh, that's actually like really cool. I don't know. I like this one a lot. Force of Will. So Emily has an RKF signed non-foil. I have a non-signed but double masters borderless foil Force of Will. This I actually pulled from a VIP edition, and man, the story behind this and how we got it is just really cool. It's not really that long of a story, but I love this card, and I think it's probably the most expensive card in the deck. Gamble. I recently picked up this pink one for Emily. She likes it quite a bit. And then I've got a signed special guest Gamble. I wish this were foil or foreign language, but it's good enough for now. Emily is absolutely mogging me with this gemstone. This is an original Time Spiral gemstone. I don't think it's remastered. I think it's just TSR. Time Spiral. But obviously foil, and it's very, very cool. And then I've got a foil gemstone, which is a more recent printing. It's okay. I'm not like the biggest fan of it, but I have a non-foil like this in Japanese that I have in another deck, but it's very like heavy played. So I'm running this one for now. We'll see if it stays. I bought so many of these Cataxian probes because I just think they're the coolest. So I think this is the one card that Emily's running that is Japanese, but I think the card it's very, I don't know, just something about the foiling and the way it looks, and it just is perfect. So this is one of my favorite printings of any card. Grand Abolisher. Another RKF card for her, but not signed this time. I just have a foil Japanese signed. Imperial Seal. I actually don't like this borderless one. Something about the skull was like a little too cartoony for me. She does have a really nice foil, and something about this like understated Japanese with just the note and the red, and again, this is a Masters set foil, so like just the way it looks to me is perfect. So I'm very happy with this one. Intuition. Emily actually owns my Intuition, and this is a proxy, but she doesn't play as much, so I'm using the real one for now. So thank you to her for letting me use it, but just a basic Intuition. Jessica's Will, both standard printings, both non-foil, mine's Japanese. LED. So Emily's is a proxy, and mine is Italian. That is pretty heavy played, especially on the back, but I'm not going to take it out. It's in pretty good shape on the front, and it's definitely sleeve playable, so that's good enough for me. Lotho. Both just regular foils. Mine's Japanese. Lotus Petal. Hers is the Secret Lair or 30th anniversary magic one. A little bit of dirt on the sleeve here, but card's fine. And then I've got the Mystery Booster too. Mana Confluence. I've got the Commander Legends Mana Confluence in foil. I think this is the box topper. And then she just has a basic one. Mana Vault. We both have signed Mark Tedin vaults. Mine's Japanese. Marsh Flats. This matches my Arid Mesa. I like the special guest one. I should probably try to get a couple more, but I really want Japanese ones, so I'm going to hold out for those. And she's got a foil regular from MH2. Mental Misstep. She likes whiteboarded cards, so that's why she has a whiteboarded one, and I have a Japanese one. So this is one of the differences. I was on Mysterized Village. I'm no longer on that, so she is still on it. We'll probably change to follow my list at some point, but we'll just put this one aside for now. Misty Rainforest. She's got a Secret Lair, and then I've got a original. I think it says original. Modern Masters 3. Maybe, I think there's an older one, but this foiling is nice. Mnemonic Betrayal. I have a Japanese non-foil. She has a regular foil, or regular English non-foil. I'm really after a Japanese foil, one of these, but I'm not willing to pay like the $80 that it costs, so just kind of waiting on that. Mockingbird. I'm not a big fan of this treatment, so I just like the regular and foil. Mox Amber, same card. Mine's foil, hers is not. On one of these, on this Amber, it's really hard to see. I wonder if the camera will pick it up. There, you can see that line right about here. There's a pretty heavy dent going across this card, so it is damaged, but otherwise in good shape. I don't know how that happened. I think it came out of the pack like that. Mox Diamond. These are both proxies. This is the only proxy I have in my deck. I'm waiting for a From the Vault Mox Diamond because I want a foil, and I really like the From the Vault foils. Mox Opal. These are both foil. She's got a pretty nice English foil. It's really hard to tell. You can see some of the foiling there. And then this one I pulled from a VIP edition, and I love this printing. Like I said, I have the Chrome Mox to match, but the Chrome Mox is just like almost too green. This is more yellow. So that's what we're running for now. We both have signed RKF Mystical Tutors in foil. Mine's Japanese. And then I've got some alterations done by RKF with his interpretation of a C for critical EDH and some just like bling on the sides of the card. It's really cool. For some reason, whenever I play this card or I discard it and people go like, wait, what card is that? And I say Mystical Tutor, and they like stare at it and they look very confused. Mystic Remora. I actually don't really like any of the printings of this card. Maybe the original fish is fine from, I think, Cold Snap, but not Cold Snap, Ice Age. This is probably my least disliked printing, but even then I'm like, it's all right. So that's what I'm running for now. Necropotence, non-foil from Wilds of Eldraine, and this is a Eternal Masters foil. And like I said, the foiling on Masters sets foils, even just the base cards, that's really what attracts me to them and why I collect them. Orim's Chant. I really like the printing on the left. I think it's really unique, and it's really not that special. It's not it's just a borderless version, right? But somehow they allowed the artist to do that with the ring around it. Otawara. I have a non-foil Japanese signed. She's just got a regular English. If you might have heard, I lost my Otawara while this one was out getting signed, and I was running around with a 99 card deck, and that's pretty unfortunate. I think I lost it during a tournament, so I think I actually lost a game because of it, because there was only one way for me to stop that player, and I had a good third of my deck in my hand, and I couldn't find the Otawara, and so now we have a very distinguished signed one that I will notice if it's gone. Back to negation. I pulled this foil from a Mr. Booster 2 box, and I just think it looks incredible. Plateau. Hers is a proxy. This one is real. It is pretty moderate to heavily played, but it is a functioning dual land. Somehow in every deck, I managed to get a messed up polluted delta one way or another. I have a collection of messed up polluted deltas. I think I have 4. This is my least messed up one, but it is altered, and no idea who it's altered by. Picked it up in a trade, and I think it looks really, really cool, but it is the only altered card in this deck. So in my estimation, it's still like, quote, messed up. I have a polluted delta that's got like a bunch of black up here. I have a polluted delta whose foil stamp is like in the middle of this text box. And I forget what the other one is, but for some reason, if you look at any of my decks, whether it's Glarb or Wrong Sire or this one, I will have a polluted delta that is messed up. Professional Facebreaker. Yeah, this is a good example of the printing that I do not like. I don't like the extended art. I think the framing is weird and like different. You can see like the space between their head and the top is different than the other one. And in some cases it does look lower resolution because they're just stretching the art. And I like the way Magic cards look, generally speaking, so I don't mind the border. But I have a Japanese foil, regular. She has an extended art, English, regular, and they're both signed. Ragavan, Nimble Pilfer. So I was running this one on the right, but I just could not stand the art. The frame is fine, but I just couldn't stand the art. And then I recently picked this left one up from Doot, and it is just, I mean, you can tell by the foiling, it's just awesome. So I'm pretty happy with this one right now. Reign of Filth. I like the printing on the left, but I think it's not available in foil. Even if it is, it's probably very, very expensive. And then I was running the Secret Lair printing, but in the process of like what I would call de-slopifying my deck, I took this out. I just couldn't stand it. Like every time I'd like look for it, I'd cast it and just not want to see it. It's fine. It's cool, but I just don't think like thematically it looks very good with the rest of my deck. Red Elemental Blast. These are both really cool. I think this is a 4-in-black border. I'm really bad at identifying old cards. And then I don't remember what this one's from, but I know this one's very old as well. And like I said, she likes white borders, so. Rhystic Study. I think the Prophecy printing is probably the best. And then I had a Japanese version like this that I was running. And then a member of the Critical EDH Discord and League, Logic Knot, came up to me at Fishbowl and said, "Hey, I think I have a card you want," and handed me this and said, like, "Do you want to trade for it?" And I immediately said yes. So I've got a foiled Japanese Prophecy Rhystic Study now. Rite of Flame. I've just got like a beat up Japanese from Cold Snap, and then she's got a foil from the Chandra spellbook, which I think is pretty cool, but again, it like doesn't really match the rest of my deck, so that's why I'm not running it. Looks like she has another Japanese card. So she's got a Japanese Rograk, which is basically a textless creature anyway. I guess he has some keywords, but I've got a foil etched, and I like the way it looks. Scalding Tarn, not much to say. I have a foil, she doesn't. Scrubland, hers is a proxy, mine is real. Pretty dang convincing proxy, but if you look at the back, it's not a magic card back, and then there's also no copyright symbol at the bottom. Savin's Reclamation. She has a foil old border, and I have a etched foil. I think the etched foil just looks great. And for some reason, like I just really don't like the way that English looks on these cards. The way that this text box is all filled out and like kind of evenly spaced. Just I really, really like the way that looks. Silence. She's running a foil from a recent Secret Lair. I've got a Time Spiral Remastered non-foil in Japanese. Simian Spirit Guide. Sorry. This was, I think, at SCG Con Denver. I got this signed. But again, signed and really fancy signature. And then his interpretation of the Critical EDH logo. This thing is just perfect. And this one looks pretty good too, with it just kind of like a regular shadow signature. Smothering Tithe. I have a slightly miscut Judge foil. You can see it's very heavy on the right side. And then Emily likes yarn work and knitting and crocheting and stuff like that, so she's running this version from Wilds. But Judge foils are just, they're nice. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Snapback. I'm looking to pick up one of these in foil at some point, but mine is from Time Spiral. Hers is from Time Spiral Remastered. You can see the difference in the border. And hers is pretty like off-center miscut too, which is neat. Sol Ring. Here's that cat Sol Ring I was telling you about. And I think this one's the double-sided one, so if you flip it over, I think it's a dog. But this is a Mark Tedden altered Italian Sol Ring. And he's got the Critical EDH logo as the Sol Ring. This is so cool. One of my favorite cards in the deck. Let's see if this is the dog in the back. Yeah, it is. Okay, looks like the difference between me and her right now is the Starting Town. So I'm on Starting Town. Just a regular foil, no extended art. Swan Song. I really like the old foils, so I managed to pick one of these up at Fishbowl from Propaganda MTG, excuse me. And just really like the way it looks. I wish it were Japanese or foreign language, but those go for a lot more. Tainted Pact. I've got a standard from Odyssey, but it's Japanese, and then she's got the Strixhaven Mystical Archive. I think this is just a regular. Oh no, this is a. If you look very closely, it's foil etched. You can see around the top of the Tainted Pact there, it's kind of got that gold foiling. She is on Tarnished Citadel. I am not. But there's a white bordered one. Taru, excuse me. I've got a Surge foil. She's got a regular. Thassa's Oracle. This is another Mystery Booster 2. This one I picked up from Level 7 Games with some store credit. And I think, yeah, just the way it looks is great. Tundra. Hers is a proxy. This one is real. Underground Sea. I got this one signed by Rob Alexander, and this one's a proxy. She's kind of mogging me with this Underworld Breach. We pulled this one from a pack, this special guest one, and it is really, really cool. I would love to have one of these in Japanese, but right now I'm running the Mystery Booster 2 foil breach. Valley Flood Caller. I really like the regular foil. Again, cannot stand these borders even if it's foil. And I think just the art on this card is a little bit cooler too. She's got an RKF Vamp Tutor signed, and I have a non-foil Japanese from DMR. This one I think I picked up from our friend Jay. He was able to get this when he was in Japan, so this one's kind of special. Verdant Catacombs, nothing special with either of these. This is a foil Japanese, and this is just a regular. Voice of Victory, I have a foil. She has a non-foil. I cannot stand the black version of this card. I just think it looks terrible, and it doesn't look like a Magic card. So that's why I've got this one. Volcanic Island. This one is real. This one is a proxy. Here's another difference. I'm running Watery Grave. This foiling I just think is the greatest. So when you're looking at cards, you look at like basic foils from recent sets, you will notice that it doesn't have this like level of layering and depth to the foil. And I actively try to avoid those. So if I can find any card, whether it's recent or old, that looks like this, that's really what I'm seeking out. And to me, yeah, it might not add like any additional value, but I think it's just a way to make your cards look a little bit better. If you're looking for certain printings of cards, this is one thing I look for. Wheel of Fortune. I traded so we were talking about the Galaxy Foil, Sol Ring, and all that stuff earlier. I traded a sealed Secret Lair for this very near mint Wheel of Fortune. And this is fitting, seeing play in a bunch of different decks. It is a little top heavy and a little bit right heavy, and actually a little bit askew if you look at, it's kind of rotated like 1 degree, but it's in good shape. And then she picked this one up. This one's pretty heavy play. This is from our local game store, but she's happy to have a real wheel. My least favorite land in the deck is Windswept Teeth, and I finally found one that I like. So this is a DCI Judge Foil Windswept Teeth, and I like it enough, but again, it's green, and the deck is not green, so I either want something to look really nice, or I was running this one before, but in foil, and I just didn't like it. It was too green. And last but not least is Wishclaw Talisman. She's got a white bordered one. Not much to say about it. I know the extended art Wishclaw is very expensive, but I personally like the gold inlay and promo, so that's why I'm running this one. And in certain light, it just really pops. Not much else to say about these decks. They are, like I said, 2 cards different. That'll probably get updated at some point, but big fan of just like putting this together over time and collecting cards. And it's a slow process because I think we all kind of start out with proxies and whatnot. But I think the cooler thing is you can build a style of deck and have a deck look cohesive. If you like page through this deck, you're like, okay, I can kind of see what the deck is looking like, and like everything kind of fits together nicely. That's what I want. There's definitely decks you could build out there that are everywhere. You're using Secret Lair, you're using Universes Beyond and all that stuff. And if you look at mine, there's only a few Universes Beyond cards, but like there's no other printing of Lotho. And even then, like, there's really not a whole lot of Secret Lair I mean, there's like this, but it's just too cool to ignore. And this, I guess, but for the most part, I'm avoiding a lot of like, there's like no SpongeBob in here, for example, you know, stuff like that. So anyway, I thought I would just show off these two decks, and if you ever see us in person or want to play with us in the league, I'll probably be playing this deck or some version of it, and you can ask me about my cards then. So if you have any questions about these cards, feel free to ask in the comments. Otherwise, if you want to pick up a copy of this deck, we'll link the deck in the description below. You can order all your proxies at Mana Vault Proxies. Use code CRIT, and you will save, I think like 5% or something at checkout. So until next time, we'll see you later.